In HPLC, or high-performance liquid chromatography, calibration, the tailing factor is likely a miscommunication or typo of the term tailing factor, which is a key parameter used to assess the quality of chromatographic peaks, specifically their symmetry and shape. The tailing factor, also known as the asymmetry factor, is a measure of the symmetry of a chromatographic peak. It helps evaluate how well the column and system are performing. A tailing peak indicates that the analyte is interacting with the stationary phase in a way that causes the peak to tail or extend toward the later time of the chromatogram rather than being symmetrical. This is often caused by factors such as poor column packing, improper mobile phase composition, or sample matrix issues. How to calculate the tailing factor? The tailing factor, often denoted as T or A's, is calculated using the formula T equals 2A divided by B, where B is the distance from the peak maximum to the trailing edge of the peak measured at the baseline, and A is the distance from the peak maximum to the leading edge of the peak measured at the baseline. Interpreting the tailing factor ideal peak. A perfectly symmetrical peak will have a tailing factor close to 1.0. Acceptable range. A tailing factor between 1.0 and 1.5 is typically considered acceptable for most HPLC methods. Poor symmetry. A tailing factor greater than 2.0 suggests significant peak asymmetry, indicating issues with column performance, sample overload, or other system issues. Factors affecting tailing. Several factors can lead to peak tailing in HPLC column. Overloading. Too much sample injected can cause peak broadening and tailing. Column issues. Poor column packing, contamination, or degradation can affect peak symmetry. Mobile phase composition. The pH, ionic strength, and solvent type may influence peak shape. Temperature and flow rate. Suboptimal conditions for the column and mobile phase may result in tailing peaks. Sample matrix. Contaminants or impurities in the sample can cause peak tailing. Calibration and tailing factor. During HPLC calibration, ensuring that the tailing factor is within an acceptable range is crucial for the accuracy and reliability of quantitative analysis. Calibration curves are constructed by plotting the known concentrations of analytes against their peak areas or heights. If the tailing factor is too high, the results may not be reliable, and the method may need optimization or troubleshooting. In summary, the tailing factor in HPLC is an important metric used to evaluate the quality of chromatographic peaks and the performance of the HPLC system. An ideal peak should have a tailing factor close to 1, indicating good chromatographic performance and peak symmetry.